Good day, everyone. I hope you all had a terrific Tuesday. My Tuesday was not what it usually is. Um, so I opened, like always, Planet Smoothie, but there was not going to be any drive in the evening, so went home afterwards. I didn't go straight home, though. I made a stop off at a store to do a little bit of Christmas shopping. Got basically kind of what I was looking for. Um, and then in place of the drive, I kind of took the initiative and planned an event where we went up to the Congo River mini golf in Altamont and we did mini golf. And didn't get a lot of response, but some people came, and so we were able to do that. And then also, we someone pulled together a Mafia night. So after Putt, I dropped Heather off because she didn't want to do it, the Mafia, and then went down to Mafia and got to playing. We had a smaller group, so we were able to get a bunch of games in. Honestly, I don't remember how many. Right when I got there, um, and that's right, guys. I've already gotten to the end of my day, and now I'm going to give you a Mafia vlog. Mafia explanation vlog. Recap vlog. But I think I'm supposed to name with it. I've been doing Mafia enough to where I should get like a nickname. Like when I review movies and I get reviewing, but Mafia and doesn't flow very well. I'll have to figure it out. Anyway, so Mafia. I got there. They had just started a game, but luckily, small enough group, and with the rules they used, it ended pretty quick. So apparently they started out, and I had to figure this out on the fly because I came in and looked like there was one person that had just got eliminated literally as I was walking in the door, and I thought first elimination, I gotta wait on this game. It turned out they started out without a moderator. Everyone was a player, and then the people who got the Mafia cards somehow had to indicate who they wanted to kill the first round, and then that person would become the moderator the rest of the game. And so they wadded up a piece of paper and threw it. It created some confusion. It also created very confusing comments for when I walked in the door, not knowing that it happened. And they were talking about trying to figure out how the Mafia was based on how a ball was thrown. And I was like, what are you talking about? Um, and I figured it out. You guys started without a moderator, didn't you? Yeah. And they explained what happened after the game ended. But they started out with just two Mafia, and everyone else was just regular town. No special roles. And no cops or nurse either. Luckily for the town pegged a Mafia and another Mafia pretty quickly. And so the game ended um, with the Mafia being eliminated. So that was alright. Then we started a game that I got to be a part of. And literally right after I started that game, um, some other people came in, and they were in the remaining games that we played. I'm trying to remember specifically. I was the I was a townsperson in one game. I was like the Godfather on the Mafia side in one round. I was an I was the Yakuza in one round. Maybe we only played three games. I thought we got like more than that in, but these are the only three I can recall. So, I was given a card that said Godfather. So the Mafia woke up. I discovered that there was one Godfather, two Godfathers, and a Yakuza. So the next day, the moderator goes through at night and pretends like all the rules are there, even though all the rules aren't there. And so people are trying to figure out what the rules are and not there. So they said they heard the moderator ask the silencer to silence someone, even though there was no silencer. And we were also playing where the moderator didn't reveal who was silenced or anything else, who was given a gun, who was saved, if someone was saved, just that someone was saved, things like that. And so we woke up the next day and people were like, wait, who was silenced? And we go around and we're trying to figure out, was anyone silenced? The moderator didn't say, but the moderator's not going to say. So who's not talking? And turns out our Yakuza wasn't saying a word. And if you're silenced, you can't motion, you can't nod, you can't verify. You can't give any. You can't say a thing, and you can't give any symbols or signals with your hands or anything. So all she could do is sit there and look at him. And they went with the assumption that she was silenced. So there was a silencer. So, number one, we know there's a silencer, even though there's not. And number two, she is innocent. They just knew. She's innocent. She was silenced, she's innocent. Just automatic thing. In this game, we weren't revealing roles, I think. Yeah. In this game, we weren't revealing roles. And so we don't find out that the person we kill might be this role. We don't find out the person we lynch might be this role or whatever. All we know is, as the Mafia, we know the three of us are still in. So we go to sleep, and during our turn, our third member, the Godfather, says, "Let's keep this silencer thing going." And so let's say that Nathan was silenced, and I was hesitant. I was like, I don't know about this. I would never silence myself in a game. If I'm silenced, I'm not Mafia. And this is kind of the weird exception to that because I let it happen, and I really shouldn't have. And I thought, all right, we'll keep playing with them, make them think there's a silencer still. Although they never would have known if the silencer was taken out by someone the person we lynched was the silencer or not. They never would have known that because we weren't revealing roles. So we could have just pretended like it happened. But we decided to play along, and so they're going around, who was silenced, who was silenced, and they looked at me, and I was just sitting there. They can't do anything. They can't say anything. So I'm like, I'm going to act as best I can without giving actual signals. I'm going to act as frustrated as I possibly can. Because what then followed was me being legitimately frustrated as I possibly can. Because they came after me. And I couldn't defend myself. And it was literally borderline. We're going to lynch. We're going to try to lynch. We're not going to try to lynch. Some people were saying we shouldn't try me, we should try this other person who happened to be Mafia as well, and I thought was giving himself away pretty significantly. And so eventually they convinced the person who came forward as having a gun that they should shoot me, which they did. And then they lynched my partner over there, leaving the innocent, completely innocent. That's what makes sense to me. I'm silenced, so I must be Mafia. But when she was silenced, she couldn't be Mafia. She was innocent. Because it was the second round, they thought for sure it happened. And I'm just like, no. So never again will I agree to be fake silenced. So I was taken out. I was actually defending someone who claimed to be the Miller. Also, that's another reason they went after me, was because I thought the Miller was innocent. Because I believed him, because I knew it was true, because I was Mafia. But the trick is to try to play like you would if you were a townsperson. And so I was hardcore on that strategy, this game. I'm still in the first game, I gotta speed this up. So they take me out. They don't find out that the person was in fact the Miller. If we had revealed roles, then when we lynched the first person, and I didn't vote for him, we would have seen he was in fact the Miller. And then they would have been like, well, he didn't vote for him, he was defending him, so maybe he's good too. But because we didn't reveal, and because I was silenced, there's absolutely nothing I could do except sit there and get lynched. Or shot with a gun, which I guess it couldn't have stopped anyways, except I could have said some stuff first. So then we have one Mafia left standing, and she does a pretty good job of staying hidden. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the outcome of the game. She might have pulled it off. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what happened. No, she didn't pull it off. She was a Yakuza. And she waited till she was all by herself, and then she decided to use her power. Now, that previous night, we had tried to, before I died, we had tried to, and we were both taken out the same round. So that night after we died is when she struck as a Yakuza. We had tried to take out this one person who was saved. And that's almost a guarantee that means that person's the nurse. So the Yakuza would want to turn the nurse because we didn't know who any of the cops were. We tried to kill this person because we thought he was a cop, and he saved himself, so he was a nurse. So at that moment, even though I died and I was silent, I didn't say anything. We knew the nurse and we knew the cop, which I had reversed. I thought the other person was the nurse and this person was the cop. We'd have gone the other way if it was the other way around. But she turned not the nurse, not the cop, but the person who happened to be the gunsmith, although none of us knew that. Which unfortunately meant that after claiming the gun was given to the person who had died, the first night he ran out of people to fake that with. And they figured out he was Mafia. Took him out, and the game ended. We lost. Next game was... I was Town. And I was not silenced. I was able to defend myself, but they still wanted to take me out. And I was Town. Only I wasn't. I talked myself out of getting lynched the first time it happened. They came at me. And then, and I was figuring stuff out. I was like, this person seems suspicious. This person seems to be cooperating and coordinating a little bit with this person who I think is Mafia. So I think they're both Mafia. And I say so. And then that night, the Yakuza strikes, turns me, and they still try to come at me a little bit. And so I say what I say, and I said, I think it's these two, again, even though I know now that I've been turned and I've woken up, that they are in fact Mafia. I still think that they're being so obviously Mafia that I can't not say anything about them. So I still pushing it towards them. It doesn't happen, and they take me out. But again, we're not revealing roles just yet. So, in this game either. It was the third game where we decided to go ahead and reveal roles. So we get to the end of the game. Honestly, I don't remember how it happened. No, the Mafia won. Hands down, the Mafia won. They tore through the town because there was a lot of Mafia. Too many Mafia, in fact. So then we went to game 3. Game 4 for some people, but game 3 for me. And I was the Yakuza. And I'm trying to remember who I Yakuza. I don't remember the details of this game very well at all. I think it went pretty fast. Oh, that's right. There was like 5 Mafia. I was the Yakuza. I was Yakuza, and we had 3 silencers. So it was 4 Mafia. And so we strong-armed our way through the game. We silenced, some of us silenced ourselves, some of them silenced themselves. We took out someone, we silenced the right people at the right times. We took out a cop, silenced other people. And at the end, I Yakuza'd the person who I pegged to once again be the nurse. It was the nurse again. He was the nurse twice that day, at least. And I pegged him as a nurse, and so I turned him. He turned. And the silencers silenced the 3 remaining players. So there were 6 people, 3 Mafia, and 3 silenced townspeople. There's nothing they could do except use their gun. And they actually started out with 4. But the person with the gun was silenced, took out one of the Mafia, bringing the Mafia down to 3. And so then it was 3-3. What's going to happen? They can't get a majority vote. They go to sleep. Mafia strikes. But there's a gun in play. And Mafia strikes the person with the gun. But if the person with the gun had used it before they got to bed on the right person, but he didn't know enough, so he didn't use it. And so it didn't work out. I feel like I'm not making sense. It was a very confusing game. Series of games, really. But overall. But I really enjoyed it, and I got back late. And so this is actually the next day that I'm filming this clip. So hopefully you enjoyed my analysis of the Mafia game, as it were. I'll tell you what I got into today.